Hi there and welcome to this video where we'll be going through a guide to Section 2 of the ENGAA. Let's first have a look at the format of Section 2. So in this section you have an hour to complete it and there will be 20 questions. All of these questions will be multiple choice. For each question you'll have answers options from A to F. You'll get 1 mark per question and it's not negatively marked, so you won't lose any marks for getting something wrong. You just won't gain any. Another important thing to remember is that you're not allowed a calculator in this exam. You'll just have to use your mental and written maths, and if you need to write any working out down, there'll be space in the question paper for you to do this. Let's have a look at the syllabus now. So the ENGAA Section 2 is specifically testing advanced level physics topics. These are the same physics topics that come up in Section 1 Part B. So these topics include forces and equilibrium, kinematics, Newton's laws, momentum, energy, materials, waves, and electricity. It also assumes knowledge of all the standard physics topics that you would have been tested on in Section 1 Part A. Most of these topics are things you should be familiar with if you've studied physics to A-level or equivalent, but make sure you have a good look at the syllabus and are happy with everything on there, as there might be differences in the syllabus of the A-level or equivalent qualification that you're studying. There might be differences in the pace of teaching you're receiving, so you just want to make sure you've comprehensively covered everything in the ENGAA syllabus before you sit the exam. There's a lot more detail to the syllabus than what I could give here, so I'll put a link to the syllabus in the description and you can have a read of it yourself. Having an understanding of the syllabus is just step 1 in ensuring you are well prepared for the ENGAA exam. You need to make sure that your written physics is both fast and accurate. You're also going to need to remember some equations, so it's a really good idea to have these well memorized so you can recall them quickly in the exam. A good way to do this is to use spaced repetition software, such as Anki, which will help you memorize these equations the most effectively. ENGAA Section 2 has 20 questions in an hour, so this means you get 3 minutes per question. Now, this is more time than you get in Section 1, where it's 1.5 minutes, but this is accounted for by the fact that questions are going to be much more complex in Section 2. So you need to be aware of that and able to understand and unpick the information from these more complex question setups in order to get to the answer. This is where practice is really key. Doing practice past papers to time will enable you to get familiar with the format of the questions and how complex they can be. The key to getting marks in this section is how well you can pick apart the information in the question and use it to get to the answer, so you'll need to practice lots of past papers to develop your skills at this. The methods of obtaining the answer will vary. It could be anything from drawing diagrams to understanding energy conservation, but the key thing to remember is, so the method of obtaining the answer can vary from question to question. From one question you might be drawing diagrams, the next one might require an understanding of energy conservation. But the key thing across all questions is that your success will depend on the speed and the accuracy with which you can see what the question is asking you to do and how you get to that answer. So once you've ensured you're familiar with the syllabus, the next step is to start doing those practice past papers. You should do them in time conditions to get used to the pressure of the exam environment and how much time you've got to answer. Make sure you go through and mark your practice papers and then don't just leave it there. Have a look at what you got wrong and have another go. Can you see where you went wrong, and are there any patterns in the kind of things you don't get right? So if there are specific topics you find you're struggling with or specific types of question that always seem to catch you out, then you can focus your practice onto these kinds of things where you need some more improvement, and that will help you overall attain a better score in the ENGAA Section 2. So that's our video on Section 2 of the ENGAA. We have more videos covering top tips for the ENGAA Section 1 and a guide to it for 2022, so keep an eye out on our YouTube page for those. Thank you for watching.